Testing, testing. Okay, we are ready to go. Is everyone ready? Excellent. So this is session 8. Welcome everyone who found your way here. My name is Olga Vrublevskaya. I'm client service director at RTA. We have big enterprise customers among the Russian businesses. Today I'll be moderating this session on Russian business and architectural promotion in this. Today with our colleagues, we will discuss how promotion is possible in the current environment. Today, the digital world does not consist of individual channels. 2026 is the year of new opportunities. Um, the paradigm has shifted, and colleagues today will share their experience in terms of what can be done and today we'll be discussing who is managing the business growth in digital. Our first speaker is Ivan Shumilov, founder of the ABV team, founder and CEO of ABV. He will discuss how to fit your business within the 0. Does everyone know what you yes. Well, I have just found a confirmation of my idea that very few people know little about Internet 3.0, while in China and Saudi Arabia, Europe, and the United States, everyone is familiar with this notion. So today I will try to speak about how to promote your business in the Internet 3.0 logic. So why am I here? I am the founder of ABV team. My name is Ivan Shumilov. Together with my team, back in 2019, we made it into the Guinness Book of Records. We won in the largest scale hackathon here in Russia. And this is how we started our journey in the IT product space. Today, we provide commercial products and consulting services in the field of systematization and digital transformation of business processes. And in addition to commercial initiative, we have a social initiative. There is a community of entrepreneurs, and we have an institute for promotion of safe development of the internet. This is an entity that helps our nation progress from one era of the internet to a new era, and all of this is implemented with the support of the Ministry of digital development of Russian Moscow Innovation Cluster, and generally the Russian government. So three paradigms, three epochs. We are already in the 3.0 stage. Internet 1.0, that was the stage of websites, one or several authors posted publications, whatever, on their pages. Then the internet evolved, the websites became more interactive. Different people could publish their content, and algorithms started to be operational. Corporations, once you captured that niche, platforms then managed our life. Now we post reels and posts, and whatever we see on the screens of our smartphones or on the laptops is the result of big data processing and algorithms that are controlled by large corporations. Today, 85% of data belongs to technological giants, but we are moving towards Internet 3.0. This is the era of when the users define how that data will be used, how the data is used, and for what purposes. So basically, we are shifting to a new situation where internal community is being shaped with its own algorithms, and that sets the value to the data of its own, sets the value to its own data. It's important to get and think in terms of definitions. Over here, you can see I've very simplified definition of the internet. Internet is the global network of computers that was created to exchange data and information. By the way, does anyone think that data and information are more or less the same? And we can put an equal sign between the anyone? No, no, no one. Excellent, wonderful. So people are not aware of Internet 3.0, but at least you understand the difference between data and information. Okay. Customer reviews. Is this data or information? Do you have anyone who thinks that it's data? Yes, we do have people like that. Who thinks that it's information? Yeah. You see, there is a difference in opinion. If you take reviews, take an umbrella as an example. So we've got some inputs. We've got this stick, we've got the dome, the textile used clothes, the maybe water resistance. So we have a set of components, and this set of components is data. As soon as we start building connections between these elements, and we start drawing inferences from the data, we end up with information. So an umbrella, we know that this is an umbrella not to hide from the rain, but to protect yourself from the sun. So when we receive the information and we absorb it, we start using this knowledge. We try to understand how can we apply that data and that information based on knowledge. We build systems on how to control it, how to promote it. Is this clearer now? Do we understand the difference better? Yes, thank you very much for waking people up. After the lunch break, it's very difficult to stay energized, especially when there is little sun on the street. So, in as applied to business, data can generate information such as demand, target audience, problems, wishes, who is going to buy, and what these people are going to buy. So, based on this information, we can then decide on our unique selling proposition, on our USP to a particular segment at a particular time period. The main problem today is that 80% of data of the companies and organizations are outside of their control. Probably that's why people in the room, actually very few people in the room, understand what Internet 3.0 is. We are entering a new structure of economy, and the stakeholders who are not controlling the data will be controlled by those who control the data. According to statistics, anywhere between 70 to 85% of data are controlled by tech giants, but there is a small trend. The trend is that today 31% of companies refuse cloud service providers. 31% of companies rather do not trust cloud providers, and 19% of companies are moving on-prem. They build their own ecosystems, they set up their own CRM systems, they develop their own software, and this is a global trend. As the times change, the whole logic of other interconnected systems will change: social, managerial, financial, etc. So let's take a look at the difference between Internet 2.0 and 3.0. In Internet 2.0, we rent access to different systems. There is a zoo of infrastructure. The systems data cannot be matched, while in Internet 3.0, we create our own systems, ecosystems. We own the systems, and the data is fully under our control. Therefore, we can build better connectivity between what is available to us, which is data. Internet 2.0, well, any system and its future is decided upon by the CEO, CFO, board of directors, while in Internet 3.0, the community decides that way. Three in Internet 2.0, we have classic knowledge, big data, while Internet 3.0, smart devices, blockchain, smart contracts. What are smart contracts, by the way? Smart contracts is a code which uses programming language to agree on the terms of a contract, and there is a certain there's certain technology that underlies it. There is an automatic scenario that can be programmed into this smart contract, and then transactions will happen as per this algorithm. Internet 3.0 is decentralized, Internet 2.0 is centralized, Internet 3.0 is community-based. Communities will not dominate over each other, but they will be interconnected. Of course, the sizes of the communities will vary. Why today Internet 2.0 is accelerating its migration towards Internet 3.0. Artificial intelligence is the main accelerator. It is easier now to process data. We can use data to find information quicker. Thanks to AI, it is now easier to develop your own unique codes, your own services, find services, set them up with private servers, improve information security, etc., etc. AI, in fact, reduce the costs on IT ecosystem maintenance. And this trend is intensifying. So to become a visionary of promotion, given that environment. This is the timeline. Internet 1.0, we needed a team of certain expertise that would develop USB. We would launch traffic, collect requests. The information would be uploaded to the CRM system, and online business, online management happened through this workflow. Some people deep dived into big data and ERP systems. Internet 3.0 is building its own ecosystem in addition to everything that we acquired during Internet 1.0 and 2.0 at this transit. Between 2.0 and 3.0, we need to shape our own communities, build our own infrastructure, our own messenger, our own CRM, our own value-added services that the members of the community will make use of. This is how we will generate a big database that will boost our development by finding customers, selling data or integrations to all the information that is retrieved from this data, and to connect to other communities. And now, in practical terms, now that looks very simple, very easy to understand. Yeah, and I know that it's quite a busy slide, but anyway, there is this entrepreneur who has a chain of pizzerias. There is an ecosystem around those pizzerias. Um, there is a product mart. There is a warehousing system. There are supplies. So you collect all of this into an ecosystem, right? And after that, what happens? Um, this gentleman is not the only vendor in the market. There are the vendors selling sushis, etc., etc., and they approach the owners and they say, "Yes, we invest of effort into building this ecosystem. Will buy it, please. We'll pay you for this system." And this recover the into the of your structure. This is how you expand community. Now you be able to exchange data between yourselves. You can exchange supplies. You can exchange promotions. You can exchange audiences. And this is how a Business 3.0 ecosystem is generated. You build an ecosystem not only for yourself, but it helps you connect to others. The system grows in a distributed fashion. There are always leaders in that process and those who follow. Why do we need to make this transition? For businessmen, the answer is clear. It cuts costs and creates opportunities. And for the government, the transition is necessary because the economy becomes more efficient, high performance. There is data economy. There is now a basis for trusted data, and the sovereignty is strengthened because then we will have a sovereign settlement system inside our own economy. So Internet 2.0 is about renting access to the system. We attract traffic, we sell, we keep the client. That's good for us. We do not keep the client, then we have to switch to the different platform, invest money once again to find customers. In 3.0, we retain customers in our infrastructure, in our ecosystem. We keep adding value, we aggregate the data, and we can monetize the ecosystem through the procedure that I have outlined above. Thank you. You can find more cases here on Max. This is me. This is my QR code. I'm ready to answer your questions. You know, I have a couple of questions to you. And the first one is, what do you think businesses need to do to take the first steps towards 3.0? Well, create your own community. Create your own community. Yeah, exactly. You can use Internet 2.0 to set up a chat, not just an information channel, and but build a social architecture, involve people in the community, offer them a mission and values, bring them together. So even people who own pizzerias or a nail salon or a retail outlet. For them, the main task now is to create a community. Yes, exactly. Build a community, organize events, chats, create communities, which is not a one way of delivering information. It's a platform where people can cooperate, can do something together. So Internet 3.0 is about meaning. Well, it's about people. It's about people. It's about meaning. It's about connectivity between groups of people. Everything else is an add-on. It's technology. It's roper. It's a technology that improves trust between people. Okay, when will we arrive there? What's your forecast? Well, given the trends we expect the rebuilding of architecture to happen in 2030, but there are people who are already building big 3.0 cases right now. Like we have that in finance, we have that in information. They are already building their own architecture. 3-4 years. Well, maybe it'll get faster. It depends on the global processes. AI is booming, and it provided a boost to the development AI agents. Reaching a new level means further acceleration. Last year, there were disruptions in the operations of one of the servers, and many central platforms started breaking, and this caused a boom in this transition. Those 20%, this is when we acquired them. They started switching to the infrastructure, and when they started building their own infrastructure, they started involving developers, testers, community, I mean users. They test their own products, they create new ideas, technical people come, and many even offer their own services as an added value inside the community to do something, to code together with AI co-coding. Okay, thank you very much. Let's move to our next speaker, Lena Zhachkova, Digital Director of Kassir.ru. She will be talking about uncertainty and how to build marketing in the times of uncertainty. She works on the business side, and she'll explain how and what they are doing, how do they manage to grow their business in the current times. Lena? Thank you. Let's get acquainted. My name is Elena Shevchikova. I've been in digital for the past 17 years. I had positions in big Russian corporations. Now I head digital at Kassir.ru. We think that we are one of the best type of creators of ticket sellers in the market. And we are one of the older established players in this market. I am very happy to be associated with the company. We are selling tickets to entertainment events. I'm an expert in marketing, in product and intelligence. I'm also a mentor in tech. So, yeah, it's a challenge. Challenge at the time. We always have to translate stuff. It's one other black swan that I wanted to introduced you our discussion. So today, Architecture 2026, marketing in the times of black swans. It's been almost 4 years that we live in a closed loop. It was a shock at first. It was hard. We didn't know what to do. Now we are getting to living together with black swans. You know, the standard buy traffic, buy views, that's not what is any longer relevant. Businesses need to switch to controlling unit economy if business expects to thrive. I'll start from the bottom of the funnel. I'll talk about the performance landscape at the moment. Yandex is our main supply of performance in the market, or leads. It's also known as leads for a long time, and this applies not only to Yandex, but it applies to Google. When Google was fully present in Russia, we were fighting for organic growth. Paid advertising has never been easy to handle. It was always competitive. It didn't guarantee an easy life. All companies, ourselves included, for years we would invest into SEO or organic traffic. Of course, it was never easy because it's not transparent. The site does whatever it sees fit, and we learn to live with what we get from that particular site or platform. But traffic was basically free for us. Now things have changed. Yandex this year officially has implemented dynamic placements. They are the so-called organic placements, but inside the Yandex's search results. In the past, we had to build synergies. We had to see synergies between paid advertising and organic. Now it's something which is a fact of life. VK, for a long time, we were waiting for all these prohibited media. Well, they left, and we expected that VK will become those prohibited, they would have the same product as them, but they um, told the market to play by their rules rather. Well, Nikita will share the rules with us. Content is also important. I agree. I will not even argue with that. And the biggest transition, well, we understand that we need to look at synergies. We can't let grass grow under our feet. So what's next? And next is retail media. Over here we have a representative for retail media. You see, I'm supporting my colleagues and I'm warming up the audience before they talk. For a long time, we were waiting for a click out at marketplaces. We couldn't sell our products ourselves. We are a marketplace ourselves. And click out is when from the website we can access a different site Well, yes, thank you for helping me out. I forget that not everyone's familiar with this terminology. For us as a business, retail media is access to high quality audience where there is little fraud when bots arrive. And we all know how marketplaces are structured. They require authorization and identification. The data on user behavior is reliable, coming from those sites mainly that's data about purchases. And you can be assured that this is a real user who actually made the purchase.
And for us, this is a full-scale media channel, but we still hope that some of the platforms will transform it into a performance channel. And well, going down the funnel, I want to mention that all the advertisers always wanted the end-to-end intelligence. For instance, you demonstrate to the user your advertisement, for instance, at the Magnet Tets, then you place an order with Avito, then you click through to VK, then to Yandex, then you get organic recommendations, and then you can calculate all that to better understand the unit economics, starting from the first point of contact until the order fulfillment. This is an ideal end-to-end intelligence, but no one sees that anywhere. It's just wishful thinking. Just like the previous panelist mentioned, the data is owned by the ecosystem, and they are not ready to share it with anyone. We don't have that much data, and I call it cookie apocalypse when users don't want to share any additional information with anyone else. What do we as a business do? We track everything that moves. If technically possible, we keep track of everything. You can fool your own self, and you can, manipulate the figures to make it more pleasant for your bosses. We don't do that. We have incremental tests to verify data. I'm going to give you more details on that later on. In any case, we have to deal with what we have. We use all the tools available in the market, and we try to maximize the outcomes as much as possible. And of course, on this difficult journey, we cannot make do without agencies. For instance, we enjoyed discounts in the past, and so on and so forth. But this is not something that business wants anymore. We want the agency to be an expert, a host. It should be at the cutting edge of nascent technologies, new opportunities. We want agencies to come to us with new formats, new proposals. We want the agency to push our services. In other words, we want an agency to be our partner in growth. Well, the product is our responsibility, while the agency is responsible for our unit economics and for our advertising campaigns. And the incremental test is integrated into that. We have a small team which simultaneously with the agency launches various advertising campaigns that we use as benchmarks. This is the way we cooperate with the agencies. You might find this approach interesting. This is a hybrid approach to working with the agency. What else can a business do to ensure growth? Partnership would be another option. You might call it collaboration, or you can call it any other name. Our large partners get our content, our sales channels, and in return, we get access to their loyal multi-million customer pool, which would cost us a lot if we try to attract them on our own. And these are loyal customers, by the way. But sometimes this is not sufficient because our business has its own specifics. Our profit margin is regulated by law. Therefore, to make additional money as a business, we need to create additional value. For instance, we offer insurance to our customers, or BNPL, buy now, pay later, or non-ticket products. And don't forget about the fact that we have B2B customers. These are the sellers in the marketplace places, and we offer to them retail media and other solutions, just like Magnet counterparts offer. For instance, the consulting services and so on and so forth. To sum up, marketing should be a flexible system. This is the only option. If you're not flexible, you will lose the market. And everything I mentioned so far boils down to flexibility, intelligence, and partnership. It's not about CPM or being a marketplace. It's being adaptable. It's not the rich who's going to be the most successful. It's those who learn to adapt to black swans who are going to be a success. Thank you so much. I loved the last sentence. Thank you, Elena. I have a question for you. Well, Ivan talked about the future, and you represent a business. You talked about the situation on the ground as of today. So I was just wondering, what practical steps should a business make to be successful in marketing? What should the first step be? What should you start with? I do understand that you displayed a number of bullets ranked by the order of their priority, but what should the first step be? Grab a mic, please. Well, calculate the unit costs and unit economics. You have to know where the losses are. Oftentimes, you should start with optimizing your losses. Calculating is always a must. Right, calculating, and calculating once again. Right, thank you so much. Let's move on. We are talking about the architecture, right? We talked about the future, the way the business adapts to the ongoing situation. Our next panelist is Nikita Lebedev, who is the director for content services product VK. He's responsible for developing and rolling out content strategies at platforms. So now we'll be talking about opportunities and the platforms that business can use to ensure its growth. Nikita, the floor is yours. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Indeed, my name is Nikita. I'm responsible for the content surfaces in VK. And by surfaces, we mean any point of contact. For instance, if you scroll through the news, I'm probably responsible for that. So if you find something that you're not happy with, let me know. We'll try to rectify it. But on a more serious note, let me briefly introduce my company to you. We are the largest social media in Russia and the CIS, and users interact with our content, authors, and other things we offer in the social media. We need to ensure comfort for our users, so we have to make it interesting for them. They might just come there for entertainment or for utilitarian purposes. On the other hand, we need to ensure a simple way of development for authors, for small and large brands alike. So I'd like to discuss with you today the specifics and the new normal pertaining to content and the way business can work with that. Let me start with the user opening up the VK app. You know, users spend more time online. That's quite understandable, and they primarily use their mobile devices, and more often they consume content. One of the interesting facts is that users don't care about a specific format of content throughout the day or throughout the week, and to a lesser extent throughout the month. They consume content in various forms. When they don't have the time, they watch short videos, or vertical shorts, or photos or text. But when they do have the time, when they spend their time with their family members, relatives, or at weekends, they watch longer videos or even sometimes movies. Another interesting thing is that users more frequently pay their attention to industry-specific influencers and key opinion leaders. In other words, those people who can shape the views or attitude towards goods and services. And this is interesting because while in the past, big companies would state something and people would trust them, now it's not really so. And another aspect of the story is that ordinary people see lots of advertisements and oftentimes they no longer pay attention to banners or advertisements and they probably don't really understand the message that we are trying to drive home. Given all of the above, we do realize that our users and businesses need new formats of interacting. And by new, I don't mean anything brand new that came out of thin air. Users have been interacting with goods and services at our surfaces for quite some time. They're interested in what their favorite brand did or their favorite author recommended. Sometimes they even start recommending things themselves. For instance, you buy a great frying pan or a grill, and they want to share their emotions with their friends, or they might even want to recommend buying one or other good. And that existed without our interference. We just observed that, and our focus was on ensuring interaction of a user with this content or a brand or an author. They would go to external platforms, they would engage in some specific activity, and they would then they would come back to us. But that was not really convenient. So over the years, we changed quite a few things. For instance, let's take a viewer as an example. That's a wiki example, by the way. Viewers expect a seamless shopping experience. These are two ladies who advertise jeans, and you, as a viewer, can see the snippet with the good, and it clicks through to the part of the good of the product on the social media, and then you click through to an external platform. In that particular case, that's our partner. And from the viewpoint, from the standpoint of a viewer, it's way more convenient. It comes as entertainment. Maybe you don't even need a pair of jeans. You probably watched a video, for instance, a water gun that automatically recharges when you put it underwater. And you don't need it because right now it's quite cold outside, and you wouldn't use a water gun right now in the street. But there is such a thing as impulse purchases, and 60% of the Russian nationals made impulse purchases, and our objective is to ensure a smooth experience of interacting with a good or a service. On the other hand, the brand and the authors have a classical approach to marketing. Brands, entrepreneurs, either on their own or via certain mediators, start negotiating with a pool of bloggers, content creators. They start talking about the briefs, prices, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, they might even supervise and control the content generated by the authors, and it takes time. While the final objective is to maximize sales. All the other things are transactional costs, time costs, mental costs, emotional costs incurred on the journey. And the content creator gets a brief which might not meet expectations of his target audience because the brand might be unfamiliar. And for a content creator, it's part of his job. So to maximize the sales, you need to give the people a chance to do what they're best at, while minimizing their costs. For instance, if a brand is looking for a content creator who would advertise their goods, will marry them at our platform, and vice versa. The platform matches a brand and a content creator, and that's our ultimate objective. In that case, the parties will not waste their time. They will, at the same time, they will share the responsibility, because a content creator does not just shoot a video and wouldn't care what happens to it again. Maybe they will get royalty from every single view. Therefore, the content creator will be interested in making it more relevant for the target audience, and the content creator will keep on improving the interaction with the target audience. Therefore, the content creator will be more interested in creating sincere and awesome content. And this paradigm is a success, because over 60 million viewers click through to the shops or snippets. I demonstrated to you a video, but actually this snippet could be integrated into any advertisement. We talked about the funnel. At the top of the funnel is the number of viewers, right? But the entire journey I just described is just the tip of the iceberg. We've done a lot in terms of recommendations and the overall convenience of interacting with the goods. And one of our customers said that the conversion rate increased sixfold in the past 6 months. And this is not the limit. We can focus on the type of the content and increase the conversion ratio even more, depending on the goods and services. You might suspect that this format of sales and interaction works only for cheap, niche-oriented or entertainment products, but this is not true. Well, once a lady shot a video about mascara, and over several days, the entire stock, the entire inventory was sold out just because the video was great. But this is a format that can cover any product, because it's about a person sharing info on something he or she bought, and it could be used in this or that way. So, like I said, it can cover food, baby products, or any other products. So they can be advertised or promoted in such a way to cover a target audience. The most important thing is a unique and sincere content that forces you as a viewer to experience the very same emotions, and that incentivizes you to buy this product. To conclude, I want to say that indeed, content and content interaction can be an independent source of sales, but any brand, any entrepreneur who works with content will get some basic performances that can be improved with the help of advertising tools. The simplest example, let's say you sell a grill to a person, which means that he likes that product, and you can upsell and cross-sell other products, or you can use advertising tools to cover additional target audience and cross-sell both products and services to them. And as far as, well, by advertising, I mean any performance formats, especially when you try to increase brand awareness. You're talking about the top of the funnel, right? Exactly. Anyway, content from our view is one of the most effective sources of increasing sales for any business and any entrepreneurs. And the objective of a platform is to simplify the interaction between businesses and content creators as much as possible. And VK will keep on improving that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Nikita, I have a question for you, if I may. Of course, it's somewhat provocative. Your platform shapes a journey from the first point of contact smoothly to a click-through to marketplace, and it's the marketplace that owns the data on the product and the customers, which means that the business doesn't know anything about the customer who visits your platform or the marketplace. Doesn't that increase the dependency of a business on your platform? Well, I wouldn't call it dependency. There are two things that you have to keep in mind. The customer journey that I demonstrated is just one of the options. You can create a business community, you can place your goods there, you can use messengers to discuss things, you can use our payment system, and that means that you will be able to track everything a person did. I mean, the person who bought your grill last weekend, because he will post on his wall info about his purchase. But you can use hyperlinks for people to click through to your own website, and that will increase your sales, and you will own the data depending on the tracking tools that you're gonna use. That's the first thing. And secondly, even if it happens this way, you can use VK advertising tools to link the target audience to yourself. We have nothing against a person making direct purchases at your website if he remembers your brand. So it's not about dependence. The message is that the content becomes a great source of sales for entrepreneurs. And my next question is about content. AI sped up content creation. What does your platform do in this regard? How do users find things that they like and they need? What tools do you use to give the users the right content? Do we have 2 hours for me to answer that question? You have just a minute to do that. Well, I'm joking, of course, on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's not a joke, because I would need to explain the entire logic of the recommendation system to you. Well, since I only have a minute, let's say you have a content creator who generates content. Let's say the content creator used AI to generate a cartoon about one fruit meeting another fruit, or about cats, or the content creator only used AI for generating captions. That has a huge impact. I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so you don't, and you will probably not watch a BJJ video about two men doing strange things to each other. So based on the interests of a user, we try to identify whether this content would be interesting for him or her. If you are ready to consume content about kittens, fine, but we'll try to pull you out of this bubble. And there will be very few users like that. And if you are an entrepreneur who wants to use this type of content to test a hypothesis, great. But you wouldn't build the entire sales strategy around content like that. Anyway, at the level of a viewer, we do understand what he or she likes or what he or she does not like, and then we demonstrate this particular content to him or her. I would like to pass on the floor to Ekaterina Askerova, who is responsible for the retailer advertising system. She is head of sales, Magnet ADS. Ekaterina, the floor is yours. Thank you so much for introducing me. By the way, I'd like to thank the previous panelists for translating half the words I used in my PPT stack. I've been in advertising business for over 2 decades, and most of the time I worked for such companies as Yandex, VK, and Wildberries. But just like Elena mentioned, during the Black Swan era, it's important to choose the right employer. Well, deciding to work for a food retailer was a smart decision, because people would always consume food, and I will never be out of business. So I'll be talking to you about a retail media. It's not just a buzzword. It's a specific toolbox for solving business problems in real life. What I'll be talking about is that you can use retail media to brief people on new brands and new products. You can interact with your target audience. There is no doubt about that. And you can influence sales because sales is the ultimate objective of any advertiser. In one of the movies, they say that in heaven they talk about the sea. We can paraphrase it. Every conference and every forum talks about retail media, but no one knows what it actually stands for. So I'll try to give you a definition. And let me start with cases. Usually people share cases at the end of their presentation. I'll do it vice versa. The ADS or Magnet Advertisements is a new standalone business unit in the Magnet Retail, and we've only existed for a year, but during this year we've already made lots of mistakes, and the very first case will be devoted to launching a new product in the market. It's a hair product. So what's important when a brand launches a new product? Well, the brand wants people to know, to be aware of this product, and the brand wants this knowledge, this awareness to transform into sales. Data on the target audience is important. What we did was as follows. We acquired data on the segment of the target audience that either bought hair products from other manufacturers or is a customer of this specific brand. Then we analyzed the pool of bloggers who advertised this product, and then we tried to overlap the two. Our communications campaign focused on a specific target audience. As for the outcomes, they exceeded our forecasts tenfold. I mean, sales forecasts were exceeded tenfold. And in addition to that, the sales of other hair products increased by 50%. And this is a great example showing that retail media ensures specific business results. And now we know what ClickOut stands for. So the second case is about Sber and promoting a banking card for kids. You probably saw outside the banners in the streets. So our objective was to integrate banking communications into the app, so that this advertisement would not irritate them, but at the same time inform them about the new opportunities. And Magnet pays much attention to family values. The Magnet app is a platform that enables people to make decisions on purposes on a daily basis. So we integrated the entire communications into the customer journey, and we were gentle with our shoppers, starting from the first point of contact until the ultimate decision. Payment for specific actions. This is what we offer to our advertisers. Advertisers don't pay for us for click-throughs, but they pay for specific actions by the customers. And of course, the media component included the banners. The first banner appeared when a user would open up the app, but then it would be displayed on the main page, and then we would remind them about the Sber banking card for kids after the purchase was made. And the last case, so actually, we had to stop the advertising campaign earlier than expected because the customer received more requests for the card than ever before. For instance, before the campaign, Sber would get 500 requests per month, and after the start of the campaign, their number exceeded 6,000 requests per month. And that just goes to show you that advertising budgets can be effectively used And one of the positive consequences for us was acquiring data on a target audience for Sber that we can use in the future when we work with this key account. Ekaterina, please go back a slide. How did you understand that the campaign was a success? I'm going to give you more information on the mistakes we made on the way. And this particular case was an exception. This Sber banking card for kids is a family decision, right? And it could be natively integrated into the Magnet app because people usually buy food products for their for the entire families. They win bonuses, and we even have a family format. Therefore, the advertisements were not irritating. They appeared at the right time, in the right context, without any background noise. What happened next with the requests is something that we learned from the key account from Sber, and they shared this data with us.
Hence, the third case is not about online, it's not about digital, which is the focus of our discussion today. It's about POS promotion. Please raise your hand if you go to supermarkets and you use self-servicing cash registers. Oh, we have a lot of introverts who don't want to communicate with the sales assistants. Okay, so what we did was promoted cheese at self-service displays. And you know that these terminals can be used to display advertising, even if there is no internet connection. The displays are still there, and they can be used as screens. So we split our target audience into two groups, and the first group received ads on the terminals, self-payment terminals, and the second group did not see any videos. And in the target group, the sales of that particular cheese went up twofold. So retail media is not a tool, it's not a format, it's an environment where businesses can solve many of their tasks. And this environment incorporates online and offline opportunities. It's important that all these capabilities are interlinked, they coexist. And as to how retail media developed over the years, I think you all remember the times of the pandemic. We may be thinking about those times as wonderful times now, but in 2019, 2020, many of us were making our first steps at marketplaces, placing our first orders for supermarket delivery. So the pandemic definitely promoted marketplaces and online purchases overall. Big advertisers, banks, car dealers, real estate agents discovered this audience, and this is how click outs came into existence. You would open an Ozon application or website, and you would see an ad for a car or for a new residential complex. Communication with users was evolving towards something more native, more conversational, less looking like proper ads. In 2022, big players, international companies left the Russian market, and retail chains, the brick and stone, brick and mortar retail, us included, became the players in this market. It turned out that these retail chains have their own data, they have their own loyalty programs, and their own means of promotion inside the stores, such as displays and a lot of other innovations. And this is when we started moving towards retail media very, very actively. Right now, we are at the stage when online and offline coexist. We can't separate them, we can't distinguish between them any longer. And together with colleagues sitting here at the stage, we are fighting for the attention of the same people. We are competitors. We do not have more people, but we want to offer to them more and more products. And at Magnet, we believe that a good trend would be not direct competition, confrontation, but partnerships, or the so-called synergy of the ecosystem, because at the crossroads of that partnership, new opportunities are born, and we together can improve the customer experience and the customer contacts. Wine is yes, 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 yes. He's nodding his head. Well, actually, we are already cooperating with Avito. And in fact, all of this, even for me, when retrospectively I would consider this development, I was thinking, well, we were very timely entering the advertising market, but we did hit several traps. I'll talk about three of them. And the first challenge that we had to face, we underestimated retail. The team was from digital. We knew all about digital products and IT corporations, but we couldn't understand immediately that in retail, the results are affected by assortment management, product mix management, logistics, and all other operational aspects of the stores. And if in an app you want to launch an advertisement for cheese, you should be absolutely confident that the cheese is available on the shelf. Otherwise, you will cause negative emotions. And the second challenge is about regions. Magnet has operations in 74 Russian regions, and we saw that basically the users are the same everywhere. They all open the app, they make an order. We have enough games inside the apps. People play games. Well, it turns out that no, people living in big cities, in megapolises, they play games in the app in order uh, to pass the time until delivery comes, or in order to get distracted, to, have some enjoyable time. But people in the regions play specifically to get coupons and discounts and to lower the final price of the order. If we knew about that before, we would be embedding advertisers into these gaming mechanics to stimulate the sales of particular products. And the third trap that got us, again, based on our past experience, we thought that already since 2021, the audience is used to seeing ads for new residential buildings or cars in Avito. We thought that people are already used to that kind of ads, and we started placing ads for banks inside Magnetia. We received a huge negative feedback from the customers. That was super valuable experience. I read every single review we received, every single piece of feedback. Many of these messages were written with caps lock. And what we learned is that the audience of our app is unique. It's not used to that kind of ad. We should be more careful with what we add to the ad, and we adapt the designs often of our ads and the app. We don't want to provoke customers anymore. But one of the biggest insights is that the customer is our boss. And whenever we launch any new advertising campaign, any new format, we have to carefully investigate the potential impact. We need to do A/B testing and to assess the impact we might have on the customer metrics. Our customers are our greatest asset. Every second, a person living in Russia is our customer. More than 90 million people use M Plus loyalty program. Doesn't matter if they're using a card or a QR code in the app. But these are the numbers we deal with, and we know a lot about these people. We know what they like. We know if they have children, and sometimes we know how many. We know if they have pets, and sometimes we know how many of pets they keep and how often they use delivery of products or not, and what are they buying. Is it uh, uh, is it food that needs cooking or pre-cooked foods? And this allows us to predict the results of our campaigns quite accurately. Magnet ads is the most recent transformation. The task that we had last year was we had to collect all advertising capabilities of the retail chain onto a single platform. We went part of the journey, but we expect that more is to come, more is to be done. We launched new advertising formats. We significantly improved targeting, and we also improved the predictability of the result. We also launched a blogger platform this year, and we not only attract the audience, we retain the audience, we communicate over long periods with our audience. It means that we are active at every step of the funnel, starting from awareness all the way to purchase. In recent, years, we I get a lot of news from outer space. Well, we've all seen those photographs of the dark side of the moon, and we decided to end um, this concept that we have into Möbius's ring. It's the endless universe. We invite everyone to the endless universe of Magnet to jointly create value for all stakeholders of this market. Thank you very much. I think this deserves a round of applause. The time is running out, Misha. No questions right now. Let's save time till the panel discussion if time permits. Mikhail Korkunov is the head of Avito advertising. That's another site. Mikhail Korkunov, head of network agency group, Avito advertising. So, Avito is a platform, but a platform that keeps updating itself all the time. Misha, how is it going for you? Yes, well, Katya, my presentation is similar to yours. Today, I will also be sharing a case of a kid's card, but from a different brand, a yellow brand, Tinkoff. And parents should appreciate how we take care of their children, how we can keep the costs under control. Avito is the number one classified in Russia and the CIS, 72 million users per month access our platform. The advantage is that the sessions are very long. The average session is 9 minutes. Users consume content. Today we talked already about reels, short videos, but people do not always open our app to buy something. It's just that our recommendation engine is so impressive that people just go to our website or to our app to find out what people are selling in general. Go on, surprise me. We have a mission. The mission is to help the user, to help the audience solve the daily issues, just like Alex from Magnet and Vicky. We all understand that now is the era of Internet 3.0, and customers are at the center of everyone's attention. Everything is based or centered on the customer. The important thing is to be a good match to customers' need at a particular moment in time. The important thing is to understand what it is that the customer needs and to communicate at the right time so that customers will communicate with your advertising message and respond to it. Now there is something that people love talking about, live scenarios. This is how people spend their time online and how they use internet. Like when people are born, they don't need much. They only want to sleep and to eat, while parents need to take care of the child by a stroller and clothes. And then kids grow up. You have to go to school. You have to find teachers, studios, sports. You have to buy clothes again. I mean, before you grow up, you don't understand how much work it is to raise a child. Then you grow up and you have your own household. You need to feed it with, I don't know, furniture. You have to go to the store. You have to go for grocery shopping. You have to buy a book, read a book, talk to your friends, spend time with your friends, etc. So this is the case. T Bank, Tinkoff T Bank is the current name of this banking institution. It's a junior card. So what is the difference between this card and the cards that we use? It's a card for children, minors below the age of 18. The advantage is that the parents have complete control over the card. You see the spending, you see the purchases, you can transfer money to the card. The additional services also help kids, chatbots, scripts to communicate with or to interact with the content and helping in their studies, etc. And the bank said, okay, I need to find the audience. I want more people from the target audience to find out about my product, to be aware. So we got together with the agency, with the partner, all these big brains, we got together and we brainstormed, what can we do? A unique selling proposition, what can it be? We made special design of the card and how do we engage the audience? Because engagement is the new currency. If people spend time on studying your ads, there is great likelihood that the target action will be performed. So we generated a game, we produced a game. It had a special landing page. We have many different products in the vertical handle. We put everything into the box. Do you understand? Into your basket. You understand what matches what. An additional bonus to motivate people to improve brand loyalty. We also offer the promotional code for free delivery via Vito delivery. We all understand that the results must be measurable and how it's going to convert because people spend their time playing, but is anything coming out of this? Of course, we implemented measurable indicators showing whether we achieved any results and whether the results were good. You have to understand, like in any task, in this funnel, there were several stages. First of all, you have to inform the audience that they can play the game, and you need to have announcements for that. You have to explain to the audience, you have to draw their attention to an additional advantage, which is the card. And by the way, the card was registered inside Avito. We embedded a special form that had to be filled out, and then the bank would communicate with the user to deliver the card. And the big question is not who these users are. The question is why they are there. Why are they using Avito? In the language of our classified, in the language of Avito, usually if we are looking for parents with children, most likely they would be looking for strollers or buying or selling a bike, a children's bike, children's clothes. I mean, there are so many different options. Obviously, the logic, the reasons of coming to Avito differs, and there are no right or wrong answers. Test all your hypotheses and make the best choice together with Avito. It turned out that customer acquisition cost was 2.5 times lower. Our partner asked us not to quote specific numbers, but here is an indicator. 26% of the users who got this card in the bank were found at Avito. And we also assessed the brand awareness, engagement, and preferences. Another small victory is that almost 95% of users who would enter the game would complete the game. The motivation that we suggested in this game really motivated people. And towards the end of my presentation, just wanted to mention that please go or rather come together with your agencies. Together, we will be able to find ways to reach big audiences. Obviously, there's always a question. I'm a small brand. How can I do something big at Avito? In fact, we have our own ad account, regardless of where you are and regardless of your time zone, regardless of whatever. At any time, you will be able to launch an advertising campaign at Avito through this user account, through this user ad account. And because we have here this audience, here is After Rus. After Rus is a store. They sell car parts, car components. They sell all kinds of goods for car drivers. So the logic is straightforward. Men 25-35 from Moscow, different themes, advertising campaign, text plus imaging, good results based on our performance indicators. Right. You can solve your problems. Thank you, Misha. Very well. Let's put our hands together. There is just one more presentation left. I'll try to be as quick as possible. I need a clicker, please, Misha. Thank you. Again, I'll try to be as brief as possible because there are a couple of questions that I wanted to discuss with you. So please hold on. Can I have the presentation? Right, very quickly, I want to summarize all the contributions from the speakers this year, just like last year is the year of opportunities. Many people focus on restrictions, but we are a big agency. Our customers are big businesses. We see that tools change, but the fundamentals stay the same. Here is a very quick case, and although there are limitations, we still find ways. The objective for any marketing campaign and team is to find new ways. Uh, all the new things are, in fact, the good old but well-forgotten things. Marketing is funnel. The marketing funnel, Lena talked about it, Nikita mentioned it, Katya, Misha as well. Marketing funnel is a top-down funnel. First, there has to be knowledge about your product, then interaction with the brand, then transition, and then it should end up in a purchase or any other target action. In fact, this funnel, we had it 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It's just that the tools are now different. If you look to the right, you will notice that the funnel is the same while the tools are different. Web 3.0, Internet 3.0. This is why we're going to have new meanings, new tools. Here is a case. Yandex is the only search in Russia, is the only search engine. There is no other way to advertise brands. And you may think, okay, what can we do? A brand request is, well, any name. Nurafen, let's take Nurafen as an example. Doesn't matter. You choose whatever name you like. Find any brand name, right? What can you do with a brand name? But even there, one search engine, a lot of restrictions. All advertising use this brand, e-pharma, e-com, pharmacies. They all use this brand to advertise themselves. I'll just wait for it. Wait for it. So you may think that that's it. We are going to launch our advertising campaign. And what can happen? Given the restrictions and the price per click, the click-through, it goes up. And it grows every year. A branded campaign like Nurofen brand campaign. In Yandex, it has a brand campaign, Nurofen. The CPC cost per click is 21 rubles. We also noticed that if we add Nurofen into the product campaign together with the pictures and feeds, then this brand request costs 6 rubles. Well, it's the magic. we added Norafin, we added this request into competitors. Competitors, like we are promoting one brand when so Norafin plus a competitive brand. It's a different price. So we've been working on brand campaigns for all our life, and we saw that we made a mistake. We're very critical of ourselves, and we test our own understanding of how the world works all the time. So with different customers, we agree that we will run an experiment. We will take one of their brands and we will launch their brand under different campaign terms. You may think that this is an algorithmic error, but in fact, what we had is we tested 10 categories, not 10 brands, but 10 categories: e-pharmacy, children's education, tickets, and we found life hack, and we found an opportunity to, or even though we have just one side, one opportunity to advertise in the search, we still managed to lower the cost per click fivefold. And then we saw, okay, so where the edge is probably we did something wrong from the very beginning. There are some clients that we have that manage their own context ads in Yandex. We asked them to test us, and using our life hack, and Yandex also confirmed that they managed to lower the cost per click several fold for themselves. Means that there are opportunities in the market. You have to be in constant search, and AI is a way to accelerate our capabilities. These are the examples. This is how it changes. This is furniture and e-com. CPC is transition quick. The the convenience. We can work at different stages in the funnel. The marketing funnel be everywhere. Does there 5 years ago, 10 years ago, correct? A task just like for any business, it brains that find solutions. There are plenty of opportunities. Magnet did that in just 1 year. They launched a user advertising account. So again, what we lack, what we need more of is time and brains. Even if we act under limitations, there are always options, there are always solutions. Even though you're a big advertising agency, you have to adapt all the time. Look for new opportunities. This is our internal model. We choose to constantly grow, to constantly be on the lookout for opportunities. If things change, we do not allow ourselves to be sad about the change. Instead, we are excited about every change. Now, I'd like to turn to the discussion and give floor to your colleagues. If you are looking for places where big brand marketing directors share their insights and opinions, that's the first QR code. If you want to say, we have a strategies department that collects all the marketing news, and once a month, we send you in fact, marketing for marketing directors, and we aggregate a lot of information. In fact, we have analytical reports, and there are so many of them. They're so different. Now, ask us to analyze them quickly and to summarize them to that information as practical as possible. And done. It's just that we open a discussion. We do have time for a couple of questions. So let's see how much that. Well, 5 minutes. I think we have 5 minutes. Maybe we can fit those. Are you okay? You're okay? And my first question is, in fact, to you. Um, what do you think about the future of the Russian internet? What's it going to look like in 3, 5 years? 5 years is best, actually. Let's start with you, Lena. Well, I think that what is known as platforms probably those platforms will continue to grow and maybe they will offer new tools to advertise, but I do not expect a new super player to come to the market next to the ecosystems. They will grow. I don't see any barriers to that growth. There are many incentives today in the market, and those who are not even thinking about becoming a member of ecosystem, they will start building ecosystems for themselves, like this pizzeria. The answer I have is gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. And as to details, there will be more users, more information about users predictively. Well, predictively, what do you mean? Well, we use probabilistic factors. We believe that at a certain point in time, the user might be interested in seeing this, or that we'll be able to predict. We know basically that this customer has two cats. When will this customer run out of cat feed? So I've got two dogs, big dogs, and I buy big packages of dog food. And sometimes I'm seeing the ads for dog food, not at the time when I need more dog food, but yeah, I'm always thinking to myself, why aren't you showing me these ads like in 2 weeks' time when my dogs are done with eating the current package? There is the Четыре Лапы store and different cat sizes eat different uh, uh, packages of food. If we know that someone has big cats, we use big data and analysts. The computing businesses don't need to offer discounts. The important thing is to send a reminder. So if we know that this person is an owner of a big cat, then we would be sending reminders at a certain point, reminding them of big packages. While if the person owns small cat, then we would be reminding them to buy a small package. You know that a law on digital financial assets was adopted in Russia. We are one of the first countries that entered the legal field. The digital providers, Elvira Nabiulina, the head of central bank, and Elvira Shahidovna, that's right, and Siluanov, the Minister of Finance, they agreed, and very soon the digital rights will be recognized as an entity, and this is a change in logical legislation. The tools of regulation will be different. Another thing where we lead is in building the so-called electronic communities. And I think that today colleagues from Oviedo, they are very close to, and even now they have technical, assistance service. And it's like for them, it's a channel of communication with the community. Very soon they are going to establish a one-stop shop for different participants where they will be able to communicate. Magnet will be also joining that journey. And this trend is backed by the fact that we are proceeding towards national AI, the big national AI. The capabilities are being built, and what else? What we need is data. There will be more demand for data, and besides, there is this idea of social capital. Data can be monetized in a sanitized way. Obviously, no personal data to be included, but the data can be sold, and for giants, can be a great opportunity to get deals from the state in terms of selling or acquiring additional bonuses from a cooperation with the state and building the global artificial intelligence. So against this background, against those trends, I expect big platforms, big giants to act as mediators to emerge. There will be various solutions, operating smart contracts, Russian blockchain. I don't know. There are people who already have excellent ideas, who are already doing a lot of R&D in the area. So I will disagree with colleagues who said that they don't see the emergence of big players. Or I expect actually for more companies to become bigger and to be at least on par with the current tech giants. More transparency, it's one of the elements of trust. Yes, transparency, and maybe you will consider this to be a PR of our services, but between 27th, 29th of April, there will be an open dialogue at our center. Russia will be talking about new connectivity, global growth, data, trust, and all these presentations, and the Web 3.0 context. I mean, all of this will be presented there. If anyone's interested, you are invited. Do come and participate in the discussions of global trends. When global trends are mentioned, I always think, what about Russian trends? What should we expect? Our economy is different from that of the US or China. Well, we are the ones shaping the agenda right now. And the next question I have, did you want to add something, Nikita Katya? No, can I switch to the next question then? In your opinion, Russian marketing model or the technological model, is it catching up or is it um, a model that gets ahead of everybody else? It took you 1 year to do the user account, this and that, contacty. I mean, I'm looking at the world. Are we catching up? Are we taking over? Or are we going our own way? I will ask the audience to think back 20 or 30 years, 1996, the first internet conference, not like this one, obviously, happens, because everywhere in the world, forget Asia, I think Western civilization, the whole world already has one search engine, Google. Russia has three, Yandex, Rambler, and Gun. Do you remember? Anyone remembers? I don't. What happens next? One marketplace for all of the world, Amazon. What happens in Russia? At least three. You all know those names. Wildberries, Ozon, Yandex Market, and more and more and more. Looking back, I'm absolutely confident that Russia has its own path and business and internet in Russia, all technologies in Russia. We have our own unique track. Of course, we can make references to international cases and look up to international players. This country is extensive, 9 time zones. We are going to have everything of our own. And the most important thing, all the businesses that grew up in the last, whatever, 20 years that have become tech giants, they are highly adaptive. They have huge adaptive potential. Anyone wants to comment on the question? Selling goods on social media, for instance, what we see happening in the US, in Asia, in China, in Europe. Indeed, our audience, our viewers, our buyers, our sellers, they all have their own request for the customer journey, content creation, and the monetization model. So maybe it's a quintessence of this and that, of the Asian path and of the Western path. I will agree to a large extent with what was said before me. I agree that Russia has its own vector of development, including in the field of e-commerce. Thank you very much. We ran out of time. I'd like to thank the speakers. Let's put our hands together for our panelists. Thank you very much. So we can conclude that 2026, digital is no longer a set of tools. You see that everyone is talking about new architecture.